The transfer window is getting closer and closer, and in the lead up to the window, we are starting to get an idea of just how busy we will be. In today's video, as always, we'll go over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. That includes why Celtic could be set to sign 3 players. There's so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we do get into today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic are approaching a busy summer transfer window, probably the busiest since the summer of 2021 when Ange Postecoglou arrived at Celtic. One of the players that the Aussie boss brought to Celtic that month was Japanese striker Kyogo. After 3 years at Celtic, could he be on his way out? Mark Wilson, a former Celtic defender, suggested on Clyde One Super Scoreboard that Kyogo might be a player the club could consider selling, insisting everyone has a shelf life. Since joining Celtic from Vissel Kobe 3 years ago, Kyogo has been prolific, scoring 74 goals in 135 appearances, including 19 goals this season, that contributed to securing Celtic's 3rd consecutive Scottish Premiership title. Discussing the possibility of Kyogo's departure, Wilson said, "I wouldn't be surprised if he went. Just because of the way football is, I think everyone has a shelf life. There is the right time to sell everyone. I'm not saying that's right for Kyogo, it's just the way football is." Maybe Brendan Rodgers has looked at the cycle that he has been through. 3 years, plenty of goals, but he's looking for something more if the price is right. If the price was right, then I suspect the club model that Celtic have, if they are making money from it, then they will probably do it. One thing is for sure, you need to have somebody in the building or close to signing before you even attempt to let him go. Rumours surfaced online last week about a potential move back to the J-League, but nothing has come of these as of yet. Celtic will be looking to strengthen the attacking third of the pitch this summer, and Kyogo going would be a massive blow for the club, and require extra investment at the top end of the pitch. Just a quick one, boys and girls, to tell you that we have a new drop available on our website. We have the Brendan Rodgers Pope tee, along with the Celtic Ultra t-shirts. Do browse the collection by going down to the link in the description, or going to celticapparel.com. Anyway, let's get back into today's video. Celtic are close to completing multiple signings ahead of the summer transfer window officially opening. Scott Burns, a journalist known for his reliable reports on Scottish football transfer news, has reported that Celtic are advancing on a number of fronts. According to Burns' recent reports in Record Sport, the club is notably close to securing a replacement for the retired Joe Hart, although the identity of the new keeper remains undisclosed. His report states, Celtic are advancing on a number of fronts, including a new goalkeeper to replace the recently retired Joe Hart. In addition to shoring up their goalkeeping options, Burns also noted that Celtic are making significant headway in their negotiations with Benfica to secure midfielder Paulo Bernardo at a reduced price. The anticipation around these negotiations suggests that Celtic's management is actively working to address key positions, ensuring the team remains competitive domestically and pushes in European competitions. By saying a number of fronts, it could hint that more than 2 deals are in the works. Could there be a surprise just around the corner? Celtic's Champions League exploits over the past few seasons have come under the microscope after failing to progress from the group stages and taking a few hammerings along the way. The golfing calibre of the players due to the finances that Celtic have compared to the 5 big European leagues has made winning the competition impossible. And that's despite being cash rich ourselves from earnings in the competition. However, whilst many Celtic fans are resigned to the fact that winning the big cup is out of reach, plenty still want to see the club compete against the big teams in Europe, and Peter Grant reckons he knows how Celtic can do it. We all remember that famous night at Celtic Park when a Tony Watt goal sealed one of the most famous European wins in Celtic history, don't we? Messi, Ronaldinho, Xavi and Puyol were all sent packing from Parkhead, despite their tiki-taka football ensuring we only had less than 15% possession. But Celtic still got the result that night, and that is what Grant reckons Brendan Rodgers' side will need to do to get out of the group stages next season. Grant said, "We're talking about Spain, especially the big guns. You know, you're talking about England, and I keep saying it, if the bottom team in England get £120 million, the bottom team and we're getting £2 million or £3 million, that tells you the difference. Celtic, I think, have improved in the last few years in Europe. The performances have improved. They've tried to win games. You know they've not been getting beat 6s and 7s. OK, Atletico Madrid is a little bit different because of the sending off. People keep saying we've got to do better in Europe against the teams at our level. Yes, I agree. But the teams at the next level is going to be very, very difficult. that gap is just going to get bigger and bigger, no matter how much finance we've got. Because we're never going to be allowed to have the players. You'll be very lucky. We'll have to bring in a performance like Barcelona where you have no possession off the ball, but you still find a way to win the game. And that's the only way you're going to beat these teams, on one of those nights. And that can happen in a one-off game. I'm sure that can happen. Whilst I agree in part with what Grant is saying here, having that approach to European football simply won't work for Celtic. The fans wouldn't want to see the team sit back and take the pressure that games against Barcelona would bring. We have seen firsthand what our defending is like when Europe's top guns come calling, as more than often than not, the backline tends to make a mistake which inevitably ends up with a ball in the back of the net. There needs to be a balance between attacking and defending, and hopefully if Brendan Rodgers gets the right personnel in this summer, Celtic will be better equipped to take on Europe's best next season. Now that the season is over, many of Celtic's players will be heading on international duty with their country. With 4 of Brendan Rodgers' team away on Scotland duty, Luis Palma is also away with Honduras, whilst Rahotate and Maeda are over in Japan preparing for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Myanmar and Syria. Celtic also have Liam Scales, Bosun Lawal and Mikey Johnson all away with Republic of Ireland, so there still is interest for the Hoop support in coming weeks for them to keep an eye on the international scene. And whilst the Japan boys look forward to being capped this week, Celtic winger Daizen Maeda paid a visit to one of his former clubs. After tasting further league glory and Scottish Cup success, Maeda was selected by Hajime Moriyasu for Japan's upcoming fixture. And whilst enjoying some well-earned downtime, the Celtic winger was pictured attending a game featuring one of his old teammates, Mittel Hollyhock. Hollyhock was one of Maeda's first clubs as he looked to make a name for himself in the professional game. Loaned to the Japanese club in 2017, Maeda made 36 appearances, scoring 13 goals and creating 4 assists. It was his form over that spell that caught the attention of the then Yokohama F. Marinos boss and former Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou. And we all know what happened next. Maeda got his big move to Glasgow and now he is an icon at the club. Of course, this isn't the first time that Maeda has returned to his old club in close season. I mentioned last June how the Celtic winger visited Hollyhock, and it's clear that from his return this year, the Japanese club still holds a special place in Maeda's heart. Celtic fans, what do you make of what we discussed in today's video? In particular, the speculation that we are ready to sign 3 new players. Let us know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. As always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, bye bye.